addition to the Iowa 911 Communications Council. Kara, could we please have a roll call?
Sure. Chris Jasper. For Shanna Krogmeyer. Jeff Miller.
Present.
Mike Bryant.
Yes.
Present.
Eric Doff. Tom Berger. Let's go back. Mike Bryant, you're on.
Yeah, I'm on a friend's computer right now, so it's going to show up as a different
Okay.
email address. Yes.
All right, got it. Thank you, Mike. Eric Daw or Tom Berger? Sean Snyder? For Chris Hare? Josh Student?
Present.
Rob Denners?
Here.
Adam Well?
Here.
Taylor Teefel? I need one more. I'll go back. Chris Jasper, you on? Or Shanna Krogmeyer? Short one. I'll send something to Chris. Yeah, no.
While we wait to hear from others, we'll start the report. Blake, do you have a report for us?
I do, thank you. Should be fairly brief this month. Just the kind of monthly reminder, and you'll be getting another email reminder as well, that it's the time of year for annual forms. So as a reminder, that's the service board membership form, the expenditure collection form, and any updates to your contact information or distro list. In addition to that process, this year specifically, there's also a Google Forms survey that we sent out that really seeks to capture your local 911 budget surplus information. So it really kind of asks like what, if anything, you are saving up for. We're going to use that information. This is mostly a reminder. We're going to use that information to make sure we have a good data set when and if we are able to do a legislative proposal to kind of illustrate, you know, what you all are saving up for locally and how emergency communications equipment is expensive and really tell that story. So at the moment, and this has been open for about a month and a half, at the moment we have 9 responses. That's not good. We need more responses than 9. So please, if you are interested in this initiative to continue solvency of the 911 program, please respond to that survey. It should take you all of 3 minutes to do. So again, that email reminder will go out later today. Even if you just want to fill out the survey now and work on your annual forms a month from now, that's fine. I don't care. Just please get the survey results, survey completed as fast as a couple training sessions and informational touch points that we're going to have that we have scheduled. And, this one has gone out a while back. GIS information call to be held on October 29th. That is really going to be about 30 minutes of information sharing with Geocom, Comtext, and Zetron. And I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes or so really just doing a question and answer, making sure that if you have any questions really related to GIS and the Geocom GIS Data Hub and how it works, getting your changes into Comtech, just all of that stuff. That's really the purpose of that question and answer. So the invite has gone out to all the PSAP folks as well as all the GIS folks. And just again, October 29th, if you're interested in that. It will be recorded if you aren't able to attend the day of. The next one is the PSAP leadership training, November 19th. this class is full. We opened up a handful more spots and those have filled up as well. So thank you all for those that are interested in this. So it has admittedly been a while since we had held that training, so not surprised that it filled up. And we'll look to hold that again here in 6 months or so down the road. But just wanted to let everyone know that that is now full. And then we don't have a specific date for this yet, but we are going to have an informational webinar and eventual training with the 988 folks with HHS and the 2 988 centers in the States. So it's been a while since you've had really some information shared about 988. There's been pilot programs or pilot PSAPs that have been doing transfers back and forth for a number of months now, and really starting to want to kick off greater participation and being able to transfer 911 calls to 988. So look for more information on that in January. It's really just a Chiefs at this point. So that will be coming soon. And then finally, and really a follow-up from last month, we did submit our policy proposal that we talked through here. Have not heard back yet. It would be awfully soon to hear back. So as soon as I am aware if we'll be able to run that policy proposal as a department bill, I will share that information with you all. Any questions on this slide? Hearing none. Do you want me to keep going or do you want me to see if we have?
Chris Jasper says he's on his favorite form.
No, yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, till we have a quorum.
Yep.
Okay, so let's just, let's back up a little bit and, see if we can get a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, so a motion to have a second. Very well, any discussion? All those in favor signal with saying aye.
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 Against, same sign. And then also a motion to approve the September 12th, 2024 minutes.
Jasper will motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Miller will second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor signal with saying aye.
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 Against, same sign. The motion carries. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, no problem. So just continuing on with my update, GIS grants have been paid out for the first quarter. As you can see, all counties met the benchmarks all 3 months. So you can see the amount that was distributed, 321,000. So great job for continuing to meet those benchmarks. You do not have any public education or training funds to consider this month. Just as a reminder, if you are interested in hosting a telecommunicator 911 type of training, there is still $70,000 available for the fiscal year that ends the end of June. So still plenty of funding there if you're interested. That concludes my update. If there's no questions, I'll turn it over to Lynn Warren with Zetron.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
You can.
All right. Next slide, please. Just a quick update. We've got Potawatomi County went live 2 weeks ago on September 25th. Des Moines PD has signed up for Iowa Shared Services. We'll be going live early next year. Next slide. This is what our current looks like. There's a little yellow dot in Polk County for Des Moines PD. And we got Clinton going live next year as well. Next slide. Still have the training portal. Learning management system is available. We are up to 494 users online with 37 agencies. Reminder, this isn't just for shared services PSAPs. Anyone can access it. Just email christyw@motivations.com and she'll get you signed up. Next slide. And as always, if you're interested in getting onto our subscription for a newsletter or you have any questions, you can always email me at lynn.warren@zetron.com. And that's it for today.
All right, that's all I have then too.
Okay, thank you, Blake. We do not have any training point requests, so we'll move on to technical advisories. Does anybody have any? Okay, hearing none. Could we get an update from the Iowa Statewide Interoperability Communication System Board, Ms. Nichols?
Thank you, Chair. So, first of all, over the last week, they've had 2 kickoff meetings for the Motorola upgrade. Hopefully you've been able to attend those, if that, concerns you. They've sent out the slides for those also. If you did not receive those, let me know. I can put you in touch with, Caitlin, who sent those out to us. I attended Central State Comex in Joplin, Missouri, September 10th through the 13th. It was a really great experience. I would urge anyone interested in an exercise to plan for that event in 2026. It was a 5.5 hour drive from Des Moines, so economical for travel. And the people and resources that attend were really pretty outstanding for that close to home. And they touted as the largest communications exercise in the nation, maybe probably the world. So much so that other regions and states are attending to learn how to replicate it. Lots of good things happening at that event. I hope to have more Iowa teams there in the future. I also want to talk quickly about the Iowa teams that attended in 2024 because they made a significant impact. There were 29 states represented in Joplin and 314 individual registrants. During closing ceremonies, there were only 2 honors given. Iowa was called to the stage for both of them, underscoring our state's leadership and interoperable communication. The Story County team earned accolades for their outstanding teamwork and dedication. On the first day of the exercise, they secured first place in the NIFOG Escape Room Challenge. When that time was surpassed on day 2, they were undeterred and took on the more complex Nick-Swick escape room box, a task that typically requires 2 hours and was not initially part of this event because of that time constraints. Driven by their competitive spirit, strong leadership, and team unity, they completed that challenge 30 minutes faster than any previous team ever had, and it had been at numerous other events. So they got a accolade for that. And then SFC Mills of Iowa's 71st Civil Support Team from the National Guard was at the event working toward his COMEL and was acknowledged by his evaluator for exceptional innovative insight and forethought, hard work, and dedication in a communication exercise. So I'm really, really, really proud of Iowa at that event. It was amazing to see Iowa called up with all of those people there. Also to recognize Nick Briseño today for his successful completion of the NIMS All Hazard Communication Unit Leader Train the Trainer course. He obtained that in Illinois, so Iowa. We'll just talk about it here in my report. Congratulations to Nick, and thanks to Story County for extensive support of the commune program and personal growth and development of their people and supporting interoperability. In the end, he'll end up helping many agencies across Iowa. I also attended my first amateur radio event hosted by Montgomery County Aries on September 21st for Field Operations Day. I was able to see some HF or high frequency demonstrations where we communicated with the state of California and Washington. Earlier in the day, I missed where they were speaking to Switzerland and Berlin over those frequencies. So I thought that was kind of fun. Next week is NINA and APRO and MTUG I'll be attending. And then I'll take a ICF 400 in Pima County, just for your awareness of what I'm up to. This next coming week are the RIC 4 and RIC 2 meetings. I just want to bring those regional interoperability committee meetings up to the group. Once a month, every region has a committee meeting. Some of them are better attended than others. I'm going to be making effort to ask current members to intentionally try to attend those meetings and then invite someone to come along with them, be that someone from their own agency or an agency they know they work with often. Bring a neighbor with you to those meetings so that we can have some good discussion. There's been a lot of interrupt things happening across the state, and so that is a good place to start those discussions. And in order to join those meetings, there's a link on our website. You just click on it and put in there, and then Holly can get you the calendar invite. And then just yesterday, we had an incident where it's a good reminder that if you can and if you have the time to quickly check status board before you dedicate a interop talk group to your event. if you don't have the time and you dedicate a talk group that's already being used by someone else, the best avenue or the best practice then is to coordinate with the dispatchers for both of those events to decide who's going to get off of the talk group and move to another one. I think that would be the fastest and best practice to, hey, we're already here, could you move to a different one? So that's just a reminder there. And that's my report. Sorry it was so long. Are there any questions for me?
Okay, thank you. All right. Now an update from U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, Mr. Myers.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to the council today. October to start off with is the 21st rendition of Cybersecurity Awareness Month. This is something that has been focused on now for quite some time. And it's starting to go on to be a generational movement as far as its duration. This is built on government and industry collaboration, which does make it a little bit unique and in many ways special for what it tries to do. One of the key things this year is the theme of securing our world. This has been talked about a lot in the past, but it continues to cycle through and become ever more relevant with each passing week. 4 simple steps are focused on this year to try to make sure that your networks and your own personal accounts are secure. Big thing, as always, is strong passwords. Passwords tend to be one of the things that are breached fairly quickly when you have a determined adversary that is trying to brute force and gain access to your account, which is basically spraying as many passwords at it as it possibly can at one given time. The stronger the password, the less likely that is likely to work. Also, multi-factor authentication. We've had actual incidents within Region 7 where if an agency had been using multi-factor authentication, the attempts to gain access to that system would have been completely thwarted and nothing would have happened. So please make sure that on your systems you are using some form of multi-factor authentication. That can be the SMS text messages, or it can be some sort of authenticator app that you can put on other devices. Both are very effective. The third one is one of the biggest things, and that's the human factor in cybersecurity. It is teaching your staff and ensuring that they know how to recognize and avoid phishing attempts, scams, and or tricks. The biggest thing is think before you click. There's a lot of ways to go about that. One thing I will add is that our adversaries are much more sophisticated now in how they develop these phishing emails. The English is better, the punctuation is better. They are very good at also creating fake images that are just like your agency. So think before you click on anything. If the email is unexpected, it's always a good idea to call the sender directly through an open source number, or if you have a personal contact with the sender, to make sure that they sent it to you to verify its legitimacy. And then finally, it's keeping your devices safe by updating software regularly, and where appropriate, enable automatic updates. More often than not, automatic updates are a great thing to have, because they will ensure that you do get the most recent security updates. So you can look up Cybersecurity Awareness Month on this website. We've got a ton of stuff posted, and most, if not all of it, is going to be relevant to the audience in attendance here today. Now, on the topic of cybersecurity in the next slide, I do want to bring up something that is new. We have a new advanced persistent threat actor that has been dubbed Salt Typhoon. Did not pick the name on this one, but it is apparently associated with the People's Republic of China. News articles on Salt Typhoon started surfacing around September 25th. And the thing that makes this group significant for the 911 Council and its stakeholders is that there is a focus potentially on communication systems. They are very similar to other threat actors such as Flax Typhoon, Volt Typhoon, and Ghost Emperor. And what they are very good at is gaining access to a system, embedding themselves, and then making sure that they do everything they can to avoid detection. Now, just like other threat actors that we've had, we are working on aggregating indicators of compromise, tactics, techniques, and procedures with our partner agencies, but we don't have a list of those yet. So the big thing here, though, is that they are looking at communication systems as targets for espionage, repositioning for something else, or potential disruption. So far, what we've seen is that they have a lot of similarities to Volt Typhoon, which was targeting your utility providers. So this is a big deal. One of the things that I'm going to suggest for the group is take a picture of this slide and then also the next slide and show it to your IT people, because we're going to go over some common known exposures that they will be able to look up and see if you have anything that may be relevant to your system as well. So the next slide, here are those DVEs that may be relevant. These go back to 2020, and this just kind of shows you how this has been an evolution with some of these advanced persistent threat actors. Again, while we don't have indicators of compromise listed officially for Salt Typhoon just yet, we suspect that they will be very similar to those that are listed in these DVEs. So go ahead and take a picture of this, send it to your IT groups and say, hey, on our communication system, are we seeing any signs of this? One of the big things to keep in mind is that you may find some clues in your logs, and with these determined actors that can go undetected for quite some time, they are very good at only phoning home when no one is looking. So you may only see one incident or less a week or a day on them trying to reach back to their home base to make sure that they still have touch with your system. So again, keep this threat actor in mind. They do appear to be potentially very significant. Now, on the next slide, we are going to talk about some things you can look at and possibly adopt. This is a new publication called The Principles of Operational Tech Cybersecurity. This is a joint release by CISA and the Australian Signals Directorate, and along with other national and international partners. There's 6 principles that are outlined in this document that talk about operational technology that are significant for groups here. Safety is paramount. Anytime you're looking at operational technology, which is embedded in a lot of our communication systems, you want to make sure that things are as locked down as they possibly can be and still provide functionality. Understanding and knowledge of the business is crucial. It is hard to do this right if the people that are designing and selling the technology and installing it don't understand your business model. And in the case of the business model for public safety, it is a little bit different. The data generated through OT is extremely valuable. Our threat actors as well need to be protected, and the connection to Salt Typhoon previously. You always want to make sure that these networks are segmented and segregated as they need to be, because there are times where OT devices do not receive updates as often as some of our main network servers and terminal endpoints. Also, you want to make sure the supply chain is secure. All you have to do is look at national and international news recently to talk about what can happen when supply chains are compromised. And then, of course, people are essential for OT security. People, people, people. This is where a lot of the cybersecurity training comes into play. Next slide, we do have something new that has been rolled out recently as well. This involves voluntary cyber incident reporting, and this has been moved to a new portal within CISA. This portal is designed to provide some level of enhanced functionality, the ability to save and update reports, share reports with colleagues or clients, and other search and filter functionality built into it. The goal here is that if someone has a cyber incident, they can submit their own incident report and maybe look up others that have been sanitized to see kind of what's out there and what they can do to protect themselves. This is linked at the bottom of the slide as well. If you want to try this, you can feel free to go to that website and check it out. This is linked to the 2022 CERCIA law that was signed into effect back in late 2022 as well. Finally, regional news of note, the technical assistance request period has opened up. So far within Region 7, 3 states have submitted. This includes Iowa. It also includes Kansas and Missouri. Of note for this group that you may want to take an interest in, aside from Iowa's request, Kansas City has submitted several requests for the FIFA World Cup planning and training. This planning and training has been endorsed by the Kansas and Missouri SLICs. And of note for this group is that the training courses that they have requested, assuming they are granted, will be open regionally. So Iowa attendees would be able to go down to the Kansas City Metro and attend some of these courses. I'll keep you guys informed as these requests are processed. Keep in mind that Iowa was one of the first states to submit, so you guys are ahead of the curve on this one. Finally, Communications Unit Leader course that starts up next week in Kansas City on the western side of the border in Olathe. And that starts on October 14th and runs through Thursday of next week. That's my report. I can go ahead and take any questions.
Okay, thank you. All right, do we have any legislative issues to speak of? Okay, how about information sharing by council members? And hearing none, we don't have any new business or old business or travel request. Do we have any business from the floor here in the room? Okay, do we have any business from those joining us virtually? All right, hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Do the motion.
All right, do I have a second? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're there. Thank you, everybody.